Shalom. All praises, blessings, glories, and honors unto Yahweh, the King of terrors, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash, and double honors to my elder apostles and bishop elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, as well of men of like mind. Shalom wa chasad, which means peace and mercy to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom we so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the seed line of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. To you I say Shalom, beginning with the 144,000 prophets, and Yahweh, the King of terrors, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, willing. This lesson is edifying and informative. My name is Quan Wath, and in the news from the ABC News, what to know about new Apple digital ID, how the latest Apple Wallet feature works, published by Kelly McCarthy via GMA on November 12th, 2025 at approximately 3:41 p.m. Eastern. This is another step towards the global introduction and subsequent mandation of the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, also known as the NFC chip implant in Europe, also known as the bio, which means living or alive, chip implant, and also known as the BCI, brain chip implant, i.e. Elon Musk's Neuralink, among others. What to know about new Apple digital ID, how the latest Apple Wallet feature works. The new feature uses U.S. passport information and works at 250 TSA checkpoints. Travelers can now digitize their passport in their Apple wallets with a new digital ID feature that Apple launched Wednesday. And eventually, this will be transitioned over to the MOTB, which will be implanted in the right hand or forehead of people across the globe, according to biblical prophecy. And this is nothing more than another gradual step towards that goal, which is a part of biblical prophecy. Digital ID, which is not a replacement for a physical passport, allows more people to create and present an ID in an Apple Wallet, even if they do not have a real ID compliant driver's license or state ID. Using information from the U.S. passport, the Cupertino-based tech company announced in a new release. And of course, this is going to be presented, packaged in a form of so-called convenience, among many other things, so that when the time comes, people will willingly go out there and take that chip, as their minds would have already been conditioned to accept it as a form of so-called convenience. Users can securely store and present their identity, and this is another great example of so-called convenience. that the elites will use to coax the minds of the people and to willingly accept that chip when they mandate it across the globe after introducing it, especially in America, Babylon the Great, because there are some parts of the world, like Sweden, for example, that already uses the MOTB. But eventually, the rest of the whole world will follow suit, especially here in America, Babylon the Great. And so this technology will be pushed in the form of security and convenience. You won't have to worry about losing your ID, your driver's license, your social security, your passport, your password to your computer and other devices, your car keys, your office keys at work and at home. Because now all these things will be securely and conveniently stored in the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast. So again, it says users can securely store and present their identity using their iPhone or Apple Watch with the digital ID. According to Apple, the digital ID rollout in beta can be used to verify a person's identity at more than 250 airports nationwide to pass through TSA checkpoints for domestic travelers. And it's obvious that they're going to use this to enhance, that is, security and checkpoints at airports. So there's many different ways that these elites are going to present this device in the form of security and convenience. And many are going to fall for it, but the elect won't, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Additionally, digital ID acceptance use cases will be rolled out in the future. You see? Additional digital ID acceptance use cases. Now, what are use cases? Use case: a specific situation in which a product or service could potentially be used. And this will certainly be used for many different cases that will benefit the elite Edomite banking families, the wicked elite. And it will be packaged and presented in the form of enhanced security and convenience at airports, checkpoints, bridges, tunnels, stores, supermarkets, so on and so forth. All roads are leading to the global introduction and subsequent mandation of the mark of the beast. And if you can't see that, then it means that you weren't meant to see it. Because only Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai can allow an Israelite man they clearly see that we are in extremely spiritual and prophetic times. Okay, so reading on, and you have people in the world that can, see where society is heading, so to speak. Okay, but they don't have the inside scoop as the elect of the nation of Israel do. Because we, and I say we because I pray and hope that I am of the elect as well as you brothers and few sisters, have the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, which will be the stability of our times, the strength of salvation. A physical passport will still be required until it's not at immigration and whenever else they're required by law. And eventually, law is going to phase a physical passport out, because eventually the chip will be required. Digital ID leverages the privacy and security features of iPhone, and that's another thing that they'll use to gain leverage over the people, into causes them to willingly go out there, encourage them to go out there and take that chip until eventually it becomes mandated. They'll push taking it in the form of, look, if you take this, you'll be able to have much more privacy in addition to security. You won't have to worry about people snooping and peeking at your information, because it's going to be private and secured. So again, digital ID leverages the privacy and security features of iPhone and Apple Watch to help protect against tampering and theft. So if you take this, you won't have to worry about theft or any tampering, because your data will be private and secured, Apple said. Digital ID data is encrypted and stored only on the device, and Apple cannot see when, where, and how an ID is used. And this concludes the article. Now let's get the scriptures and close the lesson out, Lord is willing. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And the he is referring to the elite banking family of Esau, Edom, the wicked, according to Malachi chapter 1, verse 4, causeth all people on the earth except the elect of the nation of Israel, both small and great, from a newborn baby to an elderly senior in society, rich and poor, whether they be rich or poor, free and bond, whether they be free or in bondage, and the jail systems, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, in front of their brain, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark in the name of the beast, which the beast is the pagan Roman Empire, which came back in the form of NATO and the EU, but America being an extension of that empire. That is the beast. And no man will be able to buy or sell unless he that had the mark, unless they have that mark, that charagma. Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. That him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And his number is 600 threescore and six. Chi, stai, stigma in the Greek. And that is the number of the beast, which is tied to what? The mark of the beast. A device that's the size of a grain of rice that will be implanted into the right hands or foreheads of people across the globe when it is introduced and subsequently mandated. And all roads are leading to that. And the message to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners is to not take it during those evils. But according to biblical prophecy, we understand that you won't, 2/3 of you. But as for the elect of the nation of Israel, the elect will listen unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and be preserved. Pursuant to Revelation chapter 3 verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is the hour of trial of an Israelite man's fidelity, his faith, through the idea of piercing. And they will what? Cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Because the Most High doesn't give a damn about the heathens. He only cares about his people. But at this moment, through Yahushai, his elect. But as for those that do not take heed unto the warnings of these words and go ahead and take that chip, they're going to be punished through thermonuclear destruction. And leading up to that, they're going to experience a grievous sore for taking that chip. According to Revelation chapter 16 verse 2, which reads, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them that worshipped his image. And what is the image of the beast? The system of the beast, which is comprised of his various infrastructures, including his M to the E to the D to the I to the C. You know the rest. Infrastructure. I have to say it like that so that they won't flag this lesson for medical. Damn, I said it. Misinformation. Slakia. Okay. Their architectural infrastructure, their laws, their philosophies. All these things comprises the system of the beast, which is the image of the beast. And those that take the mark of the beast and worship his image are going to be destroyed, according to Revelation chapter 14 verse 9 on down, by thermonuclear fire, which Revelation chapter 14 verse 9 reads, and a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And so the wrath of the Lord is being likened unto wine. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, pursuant to the book of Psalms, and the wine is red, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And so the righteous anger of the Lord is being likened unto a cup in which the wine of his wrath will be poured out into without mixture. In other words, the wrath of the Lord will not be diluted. It's going to be at full potency. And those that receive the mark of the beast in his forehead or in his hand and worship the beast in his image, they're going to drink from that cup. As it says here again, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And who is the Lamb? Our Lord and Savior Yahushai. And the fire and brimstone will be issued out from the weapons of the Lord's indignation, which are the ICBM nuclear missiles. And all these things will happen in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, meaning for a period of time. Doesn't mean forever, ever, ever, for all eternity. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. And so this is the message, this is the warning, which if you don't take heed unto it, you'll be a partaker of that. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh. And who are they? The elect of the nation of Israel, and the faith of Yahweh Shai. And because they do, they will be preserved from the hour of temptation, pursuant to Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. So with that, I will conclude this lesson. Lord is willing, it has been edifying and informative to the elect of the nation of Israel. And the Wadi Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Achak Kodash for the inspiration to do this lesson. And I catch you brothers and few sisters, Lord is willing, in the next. Shalom.